Hey everybody, this is Dusty with Executive Force. I just bought a couple of days ago the 3 horsepower professional cabinet saw by SawStop, and today I just wanted to kind of talk about some of my experiences, give you a real brief review of the tool. I know there's been a lot of stuff out there on SawStop, but I did want to give my opinion as well. The first thing I noticed when I got this thing home was it is super heavy. So I don't know if you're thinking about buying one of these and assembling it yourself. You might want to have some help. This thing I think is over 400 pounds, so it is a difficult thing to maneuver. I bought this in just a town over from where I live, and I drove it back to my shop in a trailer. I backed the trailer right in front and had to maneuver that out of the trailer myself, and like I said, it is a chore. So once I kind of got it into the shop, a couple of things I had to do is I had to rework some of my ductwork for my dust collector, so I had to kind of run that up and over the wall there. And then I also had to run a 220 out from my circuit, my breaker over there. I had to run that up and over and down to this saw. It is a 220, you can't rewire it for a 110. I know that was the case for my bandsaw back there, but for the SawStop you can't do that, which is great because it makes it run a little bit more efficient. And running it over here, at least in my case, it wasn't terribly difficult. So be ready for those things. When you get the saw right out of the box, it's going to come. The big part that you're going to have at first is just this piece here. Obviously, none of the wings are going to be attached. The extension table's not going to be attached. The rails for the fence aren't going to be there. You'll just have this piece. This will be your main piece when you start putting this thing together. And there are directions on how to flip this up. It'll be kind of on its back, and there's directions on how to flip it up, and their directions are much easier than the way I did it, so I would highly recommend reading those and looking into that and just being prepared in that way. As I was putting this together, I noticed that the directions that come with this thing are absolutely fantastic. They're all color-coded from start to finish, not including the ductwork and the running of the 220 circuit out here. Just putting the saw together took me about 2.5 hours. You might be able to do it a lot faster than I am, but that was my experience. And back to the directions, they are fabulous. They're all color-coded. You got everything you need. They throw in a few extra parts there. I know the guy that I bought this saw from, I bought it brand new from Acme Tools, just down the road from me, and you know, one of the things he said was, if you can't put this together, you probably shouldn't be using the saw. And you know, I'd have to agree because it's so easy to do. You know, it's just a piece of cake. So that's great about this machine. I went ahead and got the extension table. This comes in a separate box, at least it did in my case. So you do have to assemble this separately, and then you attach it here. It's a really nice piece of equipment. I've been really happy with it so far. It's really easy to adjust. Putting it together is a cinch. So I love this extra space. That's really why I got it. And just cut, you know, wider stock too. But the fence on this thing is awesome. It's super smooth. You don't have any binding at all if you put it together right. You got a little right here. You got a little magnifier to tell you where you're at as far as lengthwise, and it's been right on for me. I did have to make some adjustments here just to get this to be perfectly accurate, but once I did that, I've not had to do anything else. I almost don't even need to measure. I always do, but you almost don't have to because that is just fantastic. Up here, this is the blade guard. I did put that on because I want to go through some of the throat plate and what's in there and the mechanism. Obviously that brake, I want to show you that brake, which is what makes the SawStop a SawStop. But this is the blade guard. It's kind of a neat design, and it's very sleek. I upgraded from a DeWalt or a Delta hybrid saw, and so the SawStop is definitely a giant upgrade for me. But I really like that blade guard. It's you know, I think I'd actually use that. I never used it on my old saw. I just kind of always left it off. So I like this design, and it's got the 1.5" dust port on the back. You can buy a separate dust collection system, which comes in. It'll connect in here, and then you connect it to your 4-inch pipe on the back of the saw with a Y extension on it with a 2.5-inch port on that too, so it'll run right into that. I didn't get that. But this saw, as you run it and you're cutting stuff, it does throw a lot of stock on top of the table because, and I think that's because there is very little room for any stock to go down into the throat. So it all kind of just throws back up at you onto the table. That doesn't really bother me. But this would certainly help with that. If you hooked up that desk collection system, it would suck that stuff right out of there. So that's a beautiful accessory there. It does come with the miter gauge down there, and there's some cool spots to store some of your accessories. I thought that was really neat. I had to kind of store my stuff everywhere, with dado blades and throat plates and all this stuff all over. It's really nice to have all of that on the saw so I can just grab it and go. On this side of the table saw, underneath here, there is a real easy access panel. You can kind of get in there, you can see the brake, and you can adjust it from in there. The motor's under there. If you never even make adjustments, all the belts are under there. It's super easy, and it just kind of opens and closes with a little latch, and it just makes things super easy as far as adjustments and things like that go. Back here, I know I mentioned the dust port. It is a 4-inch dust port out here, and as you guys can see, I'm running a 2.5-inch hose down from the ceiling into that. I just reduced it. I put a reducer on that 4-inch into the 2.5-inch, and it seems to work perfectly for my purposes anyway. And as you open this access panel on this side, you'll be able to see whether or not that dust collection system is really working. And every time I check, there's barely any debris in there at all. So it's a good system in that way. Next thing I'm going to go over with, again, keep in mind I updated from the Delta hybrid saw, which was a fantastic saw. I used it for a lot of years, but this is definitely a lot different, and it's just a better quality machine. And one of my favorite features is this throat plate. This thing it's thick, it's sturdy. These two pieces here, there's two little knobs here that kind of nudge themselves in the back, and that fastens the back down. And then this piece right here is what will lock the front down. So once this thing is in, it's really in there, which I think is fantastic. The saw I had before, it seemed like the saw was ahead of the throat plates. It had a standard throat plate, but it took a while to get a zero clearance, and it took a while to get a dado throat plate that would fit in there. And I had to make my own, and it was super dangerous. They were super thin. So having this thing is just kind of a dream come true for me. I love that. It's pretty standard as far as the blade goes of any saw I've ever used on how to change it and how it fits in there. And the big item in the throat obviously is that brake. There's the famous saw brake back here. That will shut the machine off, and it will detract that blade so it doesn't cut you. I'm not going to go a whole lot into that because it's been so well advertised. I kind of like to focus on some of the other highlights of this saw. And along those lines, one of the things I love about this saw, it's got two switches on it. One's kind of a main switch that will turn on the computer and all of that stuff, and it will do a check of the system. So I'm just going to turn that on there. You'll see a blinking red light, and that just is the system checking stuff out. It's making sure that the blade is clear. It's not going to kick on if there's anything touching it. I'm going to kind of show you that here in a little bit. You'll see that the red light just went off, which means the system is okay. And that will activate this switch. If I were to pull this right now, it will turn the blade on. However, it won't do that if anything's touching it. So if I were to walk up to the blade right now and touch that blade, that red light would come back on, just telling you that it's not going to start, that somebody's touching the blade. I think that is just an awesome thing. I didn't realize that about SawStop. You always hear about the brake, and when you're touching it when it's running, that it'll stop and retract. My daughter, who is 3 years old, she loves to come out and hang out and shop with Dad. She's never shown any interest in a table saw. She never messed with the table saw. And I had gotten this one put together. I was aligning the blade, or changing the blade, or doing something. And while I was touching that blade, the main power was on. And she came over and flipped that switch on, but it didn't take on because I was touching the blade. So I think that's something that you don't hear much about as far as the SawStop goes. At least you don't hear enough about, I would say. So this machine is paid for itself in that respect. if that had kicked on, I would be in big trouble and I would have gotten hurt really bad. Overall, this is a fantastic machine. It's heavy duty. It's everything it says is it's a professional 3 horsepower saw. It cuts through the big stock. It cuts very accurate. I'm very happy with the saw. I highly recommend it. I hope this video was informative. I hope you learned a little bit of something. If there's anything we can do better, please let us know. Visit us on the website. That's www.executiveforest.com. We're also selling on Etsy. You can find us on Facebook. Thanks for listening, everybody. We really appreciate it. Have a great day.